Hi, I'm Mike Goldsby. Today we're going to look at entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is considered an important skill in today's world, and for good reason. Our life plans aren't predetermined for us in today's world like they were in the 20th century. Few people take over the family farm or go to work in the same factory that their parents did. The neighborhood hardware store now competes against big box stores and online retailers. New technologies and communication formats bring rapid changes to our communities and industries. In short, we have to be adaptable and create our own opportunities. This approach applies to individuals and businesses. But how do we do that? One answer is through a better understanding of entrepreneurship. A greater understanding allows us to apply it to our personal and business lives for optimal achievements. Entrepreneurship is about opportunity. An opportunity is a situation that offers me a chance to have a better life. For an individual, that might mean doing things that bring a better quality of life, pursuing things that bring me more happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction, and perhaps money to buy things I want and do things I dreamed of doing. For a company, opportunity may mean offering new products and services or improving what it currently offers to customers to generate more revenues and sales. The more opportunities I attain and pursue, the more I grow, both as a person and as a business. So, what does it take to do this? A lot of entrepreneurship researchers say it happens with people and organizations when they have three characteristics. Those three characteristics are proactiveness, risk-taking, and innovation. Let's look at each of these characteristics in more depth. Innovation is doing things that are new and impactful in the world. As a person, maybe I come up with ideas to be more productive and get more work done. And as a result, I achieve more in life than others in my surrounding environment. As I develop these methods, I might share this new approach with others and coach them so that they can actually become more productive too. My unit starts to perform better, and others in the larger organization take notice and ask me to support them as well. That could lead to a promotion or a great job offer from me in the future. From a company perspective, innovation can come from offering customers new products and services that are a lot different than what they currently receive. If they really like it, and the rest of our industry takes notice of it, we're truly being innovative. So innovation is doing things that shock and delight our customers, and then we have a big impact on our industry. How can we be innovative? Well, one way is by thinking like a designer. Design is looking at the world and thinking about how to improve it. From a business standpoint, this could mean addressing customer problems, or it could mean thinking about how to offer them things they don't currently have, but they might actually love. We uncover what those things are by understanding the customer better. What are their expectations? What do they love? What do they respond to? And you get this knowledge by really understanding the personality of the customer. Please see my other videos for more information on how to do this. Once we uncover ways to make a customer happy, we have to be good project managers. That requires being organized and having a plan. The plan may not be perfect, so we might have to make changes as we make mistakes. But if we have good ideas and are disciplined in making them happen, we'll be more innovative. The second characteristic is proactiveness. The comedian Woody Allen once said, 80% of success is just showing up. He's right. A lot of people have ideas and talk about them, but few people follow through. One reason for this is that getting things done is actually a skill. In psychology, they call people who are good at getting things done good self-leaders. If you're a good self-leader, you'll be more proactive. Let's look at self-leadership in more depth. Self-leadership is based on the idea that a lot of our situation in life is based on the decisions and actions we make. We all have different situations we find ourselves in, but how we respond to these situations and conditions is largely up to us. By managing three components, we can create better situations. Those three components are our surrounding environment, our actions, and our thinking. Let's take a look at our thinking. Many people are negative thinkers and focus on or emphasize the bad in situations. This is very limiting because it keeps us from having hope and learning from what goes on around us. Carol Dweck calls this negative approach to looking at things as a fixed mindset. It could also be called deficit thinking, which means you're behind before you even do anything, and you just keep going further down a hole and not make progress. Negative thinkers do not move forward. Carol Dweck says people who look at things positively and find the good in situations or learn from their mistakes have growth mindsets. They are surplus thinkers, meaning that they build up knowledge, confidence, and emotional reserves to keep moving forward in their lives. From a self-leadership perspective, surplus thinkers do three things. The first regards how they talk to themselves. That's right, people do talk to themselves. It's that internal conversation we have in our heads. We all do it. But did you know you can actually work on how you talk to yourself? By using positive words and framing things in positive ways, we can change the way we look at people, situations, and even objects in our lives. For example, let's say you're a deficit thinker entrepreneur, and you didn't make a sale with a customer today. You might say to yourself, I really blew that sales call today. How stupid. I'll never make this company successful. If you think this way, your next sales call will probably not go very well either. But a surplus thinker with a growth mindset might say, I didn't get that sale today, but there's probably a good reason for it. After all, I'm new to sales, but it's not the first time I was new to something. This illustrates the difference of deficit thinking and surplus thinking self-talk, or how we talk to ourselves. We can work on that until a positive mindset becomes second nature. The second component of thinking skills is thinking about our future. We call that imagine experiences. We picture in our head where we want to go or how we think things will turn out. If we have a positive image in our heads, that gets us excited. We'll want to do more things then. The image needs to be authentic and it needs to resonate with us. We need to think in great detail what it could be. That makes it more real in our heads. When we see the image is exciting for us, it will motivate us to move forward and get through the dips that always occur when we're pursuing our dreams. The third component of thinking includes our belief system. Many people have irrational beliefs about themselves or the world they live in. These negative beliefs are powerful and may hold a person back. The best way to overcome negative beliefs is by first uncovering what your fears and obstacles are, and then applying logic to see if they're actually warranted. Many times they're not. For example, I have a friend who is afraid of dogs. He's a really big guy, he's got a lot of muscles, and he isn't scared of anyone. But when it comes to dogs, he gets real scared. My dogs are the friendliest dogs in the world, but he gets real nervous when he's around them. But then I found out that when he was a kid, he got bit by a dog, and now he thinks all dogs are dangerous. If he could spend a little time with some friendly dogs, maybe he'd get a different perspective on dogs. As it stands right now, he thinks all dogs are mean. There's a lot of other experiences like this that hold people back, that if they just gave it another chance, might actually turn out different, and then they can move forward. Another component of good self-leaders is that they take action. They might not be good at something, but by doing it more, they improve. And when they do things, they interact with the world. They start to make their own destiny. And we can even get better at the actions we take by being deliberate about it. So we can ask ourselves, what this means is that we think about what we did after we do it. So we can ask ourselves, what went well? What could have gone better? What can we do better the next time? What did we learn after doing this that we didn't know before? Asking ourselves these questions, and better yet, having others be involved in that process, makes us better. But we can only ask ourselves these questions and grow by doing things that we can learn from. And here's a really cool finding in psychology research. Even if we don't really feel confident about something, by simply doing it enough over time, we start to actually change the way we think about ourselves. So by doing something, we actually start to think differently about ourselves doing it. The final component of good self-leaders is their awareness of the world they live in. They realize their actions and thinking shape their world. If they have a positive outlook on the world will appear to open doors for them. The popular motivation speaker Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. He's right. And we could add, when things change around us, our thinking changes too. It's an incredible interaction effect that goes on between our world and our thoughts. Our actions also change that world. What we do impacts others and how they interact with us. Again, being aware of this effect is very important for creating good situations in our life and the world around us. Do you want to live in a supportive, friendly world or a hostile world? The choice is up to you. But someone might say, come on, let's be real, Mike. Some people have bad circumstances that's not their fault. You know that's true, but there's two answers to that. If they're aware of it, maybe they can put themselves in a different situation that's better for them. After all, that's the story of so many immigrants who came to America for a better life. Or they can look for the meaning in those situations and they can learn from them to make themselves a better, wiser person. For more on how to do that, read Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, or read the works of Abraham Maslow about self-actualization. And for more information on how to be a better self-leader, read Managing Self-Leadership by Chuck Manns and Christopher Neck. They explain in more depth how better self-leaders are also better leaders of others too. Their book has many exercises and surveys for looking at your self-leadership skills. The third major characteristic of entrepreneurial people is risk-taking. Entrepreneurial people take chances. After all, doing something new may not work. There's rarely guarantees in life, and this scares a lot of people. They don't want to lose what they have, even if they're not happy with what they have, but they believe what they have is better than nothing. That's also a dangerous position to have because things that might have seemed stable could change rapidly overnight in today's world. Sometimes the riskiest decision is to do nothing. That's why we encourage people to have an entrepreneurial mindset in today's world so they take risk and are proactive. If people are not self-reliant in dealing with change, they'll feel hopeless and see themselves as victims. This doesn't help them or others, but not all risks are the same. How can we know what risks to take and which ones to pass up? Two entrepreneurship scholars offer advice on how to do this. Don Caraco at Indiana University recommends taking calculated risk. He says smart entrepreneurs gain all the knowledge they can on a situation and then making the gut call that feels right. Getting this information for a decision comes from talking to trusted others and getting their honest feedback. Some of the worst decisions in history came from leaders who didn't consult others before they made a big decision. Sarah Sarasvathy at the University of Virginia recommends entrepreneurs consider what they can afford to lose if the decision doesn't go well. Ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen, or what's the most you could lose if the outcome doesn't turn out well? Then, decide if you could live with that or not. This is called affordable loss, and it's what a lot of good entrepreneurs consider when they're looking at a business opportunity. Other researchers also add that you think about what's the most you can gain from a decision and then compare that to the possible loss. And then you just make a gut decision weighing those two options. Now, this isn't a perfect science because by definition, if it was a perfect science, there'd be no risk. So, let's summarize what we've learned today. Today's world is rapidly changing and we have to be entrepreneurial to thrive. We can do this by being innovative. This means doing things that shock and delight people and have an impact on the world around us. We also need to be proactive, and we can do that by developing self-leadership skills. We need to be smart risk takers too. So let's summarize by saying people who are innovative, proactive risk takers are the ones who see the world as full of opportunity and they're excited about what's going on around them. You know what? That sounds like a pretty good world to live in, doesn't it?